Well, here is my 1990 Ford Escort. The alternator has gone bad. It's got a pretty bad short in it. I'd like to disassemble it someday and see what happened to it. But anyways, been having an issue for a while where the alternator would overheat pretty badly, especially if it was just sitting there idling. Like, it actually got like burning hot once. It was starting to smoke a little bit, and it would drain the battery if you left it hooked up for more than a few hours without it running. And I took it for a little spin the other day, and all of a sudden the car just shut right off, and when I'd try to restart it, it would just click. All the lights would go out when you turn the key to start. I might have been a little more stumped if I didn't already know this alternator was messed up. That was my first hunch, so I come out here. Sure enough, alternator's burning hot already, and I barely even drove it. So I unhooked the battery, and it sparked pretty bad when I unhooked it, like AKA drawing a lot of current. The top bolt for this alternator bracket going into the block been snapped off for the longest time, even back when my cousin owned it. And the alternator, you can't really see right now, but when it's running, especially when it's idling, it vibrates like this really bad. I'm kind of wondering if maybe that's what led to its early demise. Although, shouldn't say early, I'm sure this alternator is probably original to the car. It only has about 160,000 kilometers, I think. Bearings sound really bad because it's overheated so many times. Anyways, so we're going to take this thing off. Going to take off that bolt. Then we'll take off the sliding adjuster bolt. And there's one more little bolt back here. And I already took the connections off. I guess I forgot to finish my story. That's how I got home, was I unplugged both connectors going to the alternator, and then the car started right up. No more sparking at the battery when I hooked it up. I have a used alternator for this thing somewhere. It was very recently rebuilt. So the two connectors are already taken off. This one here, and then there's one down below. Won't really be able to see it anyway, so I won't even bother trying to show you. Oh my Lanta. Ooh. Oh, I don't have any WD-40 either. This one's got a plugged up nozzle, but it kind of works. Give her a slam. Didn't work. There. Come on, baby. Work. There. Could give that a little more time, but whatever. We'll just start wrenching her. Oh. There. Bam. Look at that. Also, we're going to unhook this O2 sensor. There. Removed. That was an 11/16 for that big one, by the way. Alright, now a 9/16 for the slider adjuster bolt down there. Oh, goodness. Hear me out, man. I'm gonna hit a cheater bar. Sometimes I like to cheat. There's our bolt. Now, plop this belt off. Just fight it off. Play we have here. No. Oh. Well, there we go. I just kind of give the alternator a flip or something, and looks like she's loose enough to come off. Right on. Get that out of the way. Get that off of there. There it is. Oh, I still got one more connector. Well, there's the other connector I was talking about that I said I unplugged, but I guess I didn't. There we go. Oh, the bearings have a little bit of play. Now I gotta try to find the other alternator, so I'm gonna stop you guys for a bit. Wow, look at that. It's only 1 minute later and I already found it. I'm gonna pop this bracket off and swap it on here. Yep, 10 mil. Just a little dab of tranny fluid. You know what, I'm going to tighten that once it's in the car, so when this bolt comes through it's all nice and lined up properly, and then I'll tighten it. I'm going to have to decide my plan of attack for that snapped off bolt in there. By the way, there's our broken off bolt for the top of this bracket. Supposed to go right there. Sheared clean off. Somebody must have over tightened that baby. is what it's supposed to look like. Looks like we got about half an inch to recover out of the block. Hopefully it's not seized in there. I can just reuse that bracket. All I need is this bolt here. I don't know why I thought I needed the whole bracket. I guess why just grab the bolt when you can grab the whole bracket. Looks like I should have loosened off this bolt down here that holds this bottom piece tight, because then it could move up and down and be able to adjust more. Alright, let's start drilling. A little WD in there so don't wreck my bit. Alright, well, I broke my bit I was using to extract the screw with this size of extractor. And what else is new? I'm missing my number 2 size extractor. So I'm going to go ahead and use the number 3. My bolt is big enough to be able to get just the end of this guy in there. So I think with this drill bit, I should be able to make it work. So we are going to give this a whirl. I think screw is coming out, I think. Oh, it is. Oh, yes. Oh, it come out. And there it is. Would you look at that? That's all we should need. It's just not starting as good as I thought it. Think it's starting? I don't know. Very different size bolt under the sun here. It's a 1/2 inch for this, I think. What? I lost my piece to switch the ratchet here. Well, I can't throw it out quite yet because I can't find my other ratchets, so finish the job with this old crappy one. Man, I can't tell if I'm stripping aluminum or if the threads were just dirty, because they were kind of dirty. Well, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'll keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't start getting loose. Loosen that bottom one there that I said I had forgot to loosen. Ratchet's all jammed. This belt is shot. She's got little chunks missing out of her teeth. It'll be fine. Wound in. Alternator ready for a belt. Okay, our belt is all on. Alright, now it's time to just adjust the thing. Try to buy some sort of prying action. There we go. Don't have to get wild with it or anything. This big boy up here. Now this one way down there. You're just going to have to straight up feel for that one. The 10 mil for the back here. An AC line right in the way now. Let's just match her up with this and call it a day. Let's hook her back up here. Alright, hook up the battery. Oops, I still forgot to put the O2 sensor back on. Let's fire it up. My battery light's flashing, so good thing we're done this. There's a little bolt down there that you can just probably not see at all, right there. Oh, well, man. It's torn. Oh. What? I must have forgot. I thought I unplugged both connectors, but it looks like I only unplugged one.